Welcome to this week's Embodied Musings. Here I am with my skeleton boyfriend, and this week we're continuing to talk about Palintonicity, which if you've tuned in the last 2 weeks, I've given cues specific to this idea of Palintonicity, which is, creating balance in multiple directions to support our body into a more easeful, natural alignment and posture that's not rigid, it's dynamic. So I want to talk about this idea of Palintonicity in movement. So if you've missed the other videos, quick recap. The one from 2 weeks ago, I talked about two-directional length through your spine, so top and bottom. Then last week we talked about creating more balance between the front and the back of our body, so kind of increasing span, having more awareness in back space and in front, so more balance between the two. So now we're going to bring both of those ideas into movement. So say, for example, if I am reaching out, to grab something, often, I don't know if he can do it, but I'll do it in my body. Often you can see I'm reaching out, I'm kind of losing integrity here, I'm overextending. I invite you to try, say you're reaching out for the coffee pot or a mug, or reaching out for your keys, or reaching out to shake someone's hand. What would it be like if as you reached out, there was an equal-ish pull, stretch, awareness in the opposite direction? So I'm reaching out, yet I'm also thinking from back here, kind of shoulder blade, scapula, of balancing that out. There's also directional force that way that you might not see. Or say, for example, another example would be, I'm going to try and show you this, like a sitting forward fold where your legs are straight in front of you and I'm stretching forward. Ways to play with this Palintonicity would be, okay, I'm creating, as I'm stretching over my legs, length that direction through my feet, while simultaneously from my pelvis, sits bones, I'm creating length back that direction. So I'm getting that full span, as well as wherever the top of my head is, I'm thinking of lengthening through there. So it's like 3 different ways of creating length. And try that. That would be a good place to try, and then you can play with this idea in any movement of your life. But try just a simple forward fold, sitting. So sit on the ground, legs straight in front of you, and think of creating length out through your feet, back from pelvis, out through the crown of your head. So there's going to be like 3 arrows, and notice how that shifts the stretch for you. Maybe you can't go as far. Maybe you notice you're getting a stretch in a different way. Maybe it actually helps feel like you have a little more stability, a little bit more integrity in your bones, in your joints, as you're in the deep stretch. And then play with it however feels good to you, when you're out walking, if you're a runner, if you do yoga, there's such an easy way to kind of play with this idea. Lifting weights. Anytime you're in different angles of movement, if you have the time to just slow down, think of Palintonicity. Think of how can you create more span, more balance throughout all of your system, all of you, and notice what response that elicits. All right, thanks for tuning in. Thanks everyone for your gracious comments of that me and my boyfriend are back together, and yeah, we'll hope, he's heartless, so that's kind of a rough thing, but we're dealing with it. We're gonna be okay.